Our favourite time of the week to talk to our favourite person in the world, the wonderful Megyn Kelly. Megyn, how are you, rock star?
I'm great. How are you, Paul?
All right. Now, I want to talk about the reaction to an event that should unify everyone, which was the US winning both the men's and the women's hockey gold medals at the Winter Olympics. But it's part of the celebrations and a congratulations phone call from the president to the men's team, which now means some lefties have lost their mind.
He made a joke saying, you know, if I invite you, now I'm going to have to invite the women's team too, or I'll be impeached. So it was a cute joke. It was like an aside. It was totally like pointless. He was just trying to get a laugh. And what did the guys say? They started cheering.
By the way, your goalie played not bad.
Howie, say hi. Howie, say hi to him.
How you doing, Don? I have seen hockey goalies have slightly worse games. Unbelievable, and you were all unbelievable. You know, I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest.
We're in.
Yeah,
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning.
Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
Let's go.
We'll do the White House the next day. We'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. You're going to be proud of that game for 50 years as you grow older. I mean, it was amazing. So we love you guys. Congratulations.
As soon as he said the women's team and said, yeah, 2 for 2, meaning, yeah, we both won. Like the guys did absolutely nothing. And then they politely chuckled at the president's joke about I'd be impeached. Literally, it was exactly how they should have responded. I don't know what feminazi thinks that some young man on the team should have been like, you're inappropriate, Mr. President. Do not make a joke about our fellow women's team. I mean, this is like pie in the sky type leftist shit. So the guys handled it totally appropriately. It was a moment of levity and fun and exuberance. Kash Patel, the FBI director, was in the locker room and clearly just got the president on the phone so that Mr. Trump could have fun with the boys and the boys could have a great moment to tell their families about, like, wow, we spoke to the president. It's so cool. It's always been cool to get a call from the president. And they had to ruin it. The leftists have to ruin it. And I really believe they ruined it intentionally because they hated these boys from the start. They hated these boys the second they skated off the ice and took off their helmets and they saw that they were all white men. I mean, that's all it takes. They were pissed. There weren't enough black faces. There weren't enough brown faces. There were no non-binaries. It was all quintessential heart of America white dudes who were full of testosterone, athletic aggression, masculinity, and patriotism. Exactly what the left hates. And they just assume they're all MAGA warriors. They look like that. They sound like that. They love America. They must be MAGA. Meanwhile, they're not. Our newest national hero, Jack Hughes, I don't know what his politics are exactly, but I saw him on a Zoom interview talking all about how he totally supported the DEI initiative in the NHL and like skating with the pride colors or the trans flag or the DEI. It was one of the chosen woke issues. And he was like, that's great. I think it's great we did that. This is not MAGA red meat at all. I have no idea what the guy's politics are, nor do I care, which is how you know I am of the right, not of the left. Only the left makes people's politics the stakes for whether you root for them at the Olympics. The only righties who complained about the leftist Olympics were the ones who saw the leftist Olympians shoving their politics down our throat and saying they weren't there to ski or skate or what have you for all of America. It was just for their leftist friends and family or the few causes they happen to support. But the conservative default is we root for everybody who's on the team. You're wearing the American flag colors, we're on your side. But these leftists don't feel the way. They were angry that they had to root for these guys. And then they just saw an opportunity, they took it, and now they're trying to turn this whole amazing celebration into something political. The guys are not allowing it. The regular American people are not allowing it. They're flocking to these guys' social media pages like they're going out of business. These guys are all going to make millions with their endorsement deals because we love them. They'll be on cereal boxes. They'll be on lunch boxes. They'll probably be on a sneaker soon or a skate. And I look forward to every second because these loud, angry, unattractive leftist women are not going to be able to ruin the golden medal that these beautiful boys brought home after a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, my oath. I mean, let's be honest. There are two ways that you live forever in the United States. You get a spot on Mount Rushmore or you're on the Wheaties box.
Yeah, it's big. The Wheaties box is big. And you know what? Like, we grew up with that stuff. You know, when I was a kid, it was Mary Lou Retton who, you know, she got the perfect 10. She was amazing. And Carrie Strug, she was another gymnast who hurt herself. She hurt her ankle, but she had to do the vault. She did the vault. She landed it, and she didn't stumble. And she was like, she nailed it. And all of America was like, yes. It makes you feel like you've done something. It makes you feel collective pride. It does so many good things for the country. And right now, we're incredibly divided. You would think, you know, it's truly like, we conservatives, I think, thought like, yes, a great moment of unity. We would have hugged anybody in the bar, leftist, you know, righty, anybody. And you have this angry contingent of leftists with their blue hair going, what part of we want to burn it down did you not understand? Get off of me. F you and your white skin too. Oh, okay. And then as conservatives, we just run over and hug somebody else. Like, we're kind of like, okay, bye. You know, I tried. That's kind of the cycle we're in, where they're just incredibly angry. Some of them shoot people. Some of them fantasize about shooting us. Others just want to ruin our lives or ruin the country or never have a moment of levity or unity. They should seriously follow Ellen DeGeneres and move right the hell out to Surrey. They'll do better overseas or in Ireland, which is completely woke now, than they will in the United States because they're losing here.
Absolutely. In fact, I can imagine there's this moment, they win, you're standing there, blue-haired person is standing there, you turn, and then that's what would have happened?
But that's the difference. I actually would go hug that person. I don't care. I really don't like those moments. I couldn't care what your politics are. I always consider it the bomb shelter, right? There's the bombshells of politics, big bombshells that rattle our cages on major news. But at base, there's always a bomb shelter where typically in our history, left or right, you could meet there and hug each other and talk about family. You know, you could meet there and hug each other and have a beer and talk about, I don't know, just some benign issues like sports, you know, or the weather. Or just, what does your kid play? Oh, baseball, how's that? Long games, whatever. We could always go into the bomb shelter and do that. And now there's just no bomb shelter. Now you get in the bomb shelter, and I think most of us on the right would still give a hug. The bombs are about to come. What's important to you? Your kids? Yeah, me too. And these leftists would be over there like, I told you so. This is all Trump's fault.
Very true. Now, American TV host Samantha Guthrie has come forward with another video about her missing mother. She's been gone for more than a month now, and this video seems to start to acknowledge the likelihood that her mother has died. What did you think of the video and where the investigation stands?
Well, I thought there were a couple of interesting things in Savannah's latest message. Number one, she revealed for the first time that her mother was taken, quote, from her bed, which we hadn't heard before. We didn't know if perhaps she'd been summoned to the door by a doorbell or a knock or something, and then they grabbed her. So no, this altercation began while this poor 84-year-old was asleep in her bed, which is just so terrifying with this masked man showing up there. We speculated before, but we didn't know. Secondly, she mentions her sister and the prayers that they've been sharing, and that seems to be somewhat of a tacit endorsement, like, stop with the sister stuff. She had nothing to do with it. And maybe by implication, neither did my brother-in-law, right? Like, seems to be kind of what she might be telegraphing, because there's no reason to mention the sister otherwise. And thirdly, she offered $1 million reward. And this is the first money that the family has put out there. Reportedly, they had been willing to offer this early on, but the law enforcement authorities said, don't do that because it's just going to clog the tip line with, you know, people who just want $1 million. And let's start with a lower number. But now it seems the tips have not panned out. It seems none of the leads have panned out, according to law enforcement. They got nothing from the pictures of that guy on the doorstep. Yes, he was wearing a mask, but like, somebody knows him. Nope, nothing. From the DNA that they found inside of Nancy Guthrie's house, led nowhere. That was a report that came out today. Those gloves they found 2 miles away that they thought were identical to the ones the perpetrator wore. Nope, led nowhere. They took 40 photos and 40 names into area gun stores and asked if they recognize. Nope, didn't go anywhere. They did the same in hotels. So far, nothing. Nothing has led to anything anywhere. It doesn't appear they have fingerprints. It doesn't appear they have DNA that's panned out for them. They have no eyewitness. They had the one Ring camera or Nest camera in the doorbell that gave us those pictures, which led nowhere. And I think that's why Savannah finally said, I'll give you $1 million if you come forward and tell me who did this, or if you manage to produce my mother, dead or alive. And I think, look, realistically, I think the vast majority of us know she's likely passed. She was 84 when they took her. There was a blood trail leading out of the house. She needed blood pressure or other heart medication to stay alive, and she hasn't had it for the better part of a month now. But of course, Savannah would like to give her a proper burial if she's passed, and on the slim chance that she hasn't, to be reunited with her. So she was right to up the ante for the money. Even the abductor now has got to be at least considering, I didn't get any ransom. We don't know why he didn't ask for any. Maybe I could just get the $1 million reward, because they're saying you can get it even if it's for the return of Nancy Guthrie, and it doesn't have to be alive. So, if he knows where she's buried, if she's, no longer with us, maybe this guy's clever enough. He's fooled a lot of law enforcement so far that he thinks he could lead them to the body and still get paid and get away with something here. And possibly he'll make a mistake on this end of the crime, because it does not appear he made one on the first end.
Okay, last one. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, who would like to be president one day. Well, he's getting a little Joe Biden-y, i.e. foot in mouth. He, trying to patronise African Americans, said that he couldn't read just like them.
I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech, because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you, I'm like you.
How patronising are these people?
Oh my God. Okay. And here's the thing. Here's the worst part. They're like, he said this many times about his terrible SAT score. He got a 960 and how he can't read. Yes, he has. Here's the problem. He was sitting in front of a mostly black audience across from a black interviewer, and he said, I'm like you. Dumb. Like, it is one thing if you just say, like, I'm dumb. I don't score well on tests, or I have dyslexia and I can't read. That is very different from looking at a majority minority audience and saying, I'm like you, dumb and can't read. See, I'm looking to bond with you. Think of the hard time they gave President Trump when, after he got arrested and had his mugshot, he was like, who's been very supportive of the black community. A lot of the black community, they're used to being disrespected, and they see that I was disrespected, and they've come over and said nice things to me. And that's how he put it. He didn't say black people are criminals. They know. They're always getting arrested. They're felons. He said they're used to being disrespected, but the left took that comment and tried to make it into what Gavin Newsom actually did. Look at the black people and say, we're the same. Dumb. It's so devastating. And he was totally spiraling all day yesterday. He was like trying to diminish it. And then Sean Hannity sent out a tweet. Everybody sent out a tweet, but he's been on Sean's show. So he wrote back with a bunch of F-bombs, like, how dare you? You don't know what the F, and you didn't say anything about the racist video Trump sent out, and yet you want to try to get on me. And it kept going and going, to where Susan Crabtree, a respected, solid reporter who works for Real Clear Politics, which is not a left or a right organization. They mostly compile polls and do straight down the middle political reporting, sent a note to the Gavin Newsom team saying, is there proof of his dyslexia, by the way? Like, is there any sort of record of it? Because now he's like, it's my dyslexia. My dyslexia causes me not to read. It's not that I'm stupid like black people. Okay, so anyway, she said, do you have proof of it? And his director of comms wrote back, off. So he is spiraling. Like, they are very defensive. They're scared. And as soon as I saw that, I said, oh my God, it's worse than we knew. And then today the poll comes out. He's going down the drain on his presidential numbers, his presidential hopes, not as a result of yesterday or 2 days ago. It's too soon. Just they're already going down. And this is not going to help. And now you have these leftist enablers running to say, oh, I think this is going to help him. This is the way they used to attack Trump. And they thought that, like, it would upset MAGA, but the more it got circulated, the more MAGA loved him because it was a real humanizing moment. No. The Democrat base is black, especially black women. They are not going to feel in solidarity with the would-be President Newsom because they too are dumb. That is not what they think of themselves. It may now be what they think of Gavin.
Thank you, mate. See you next week.